Hey there. As you may have noticed, this channel has a bit of a Saudi Arabia obsession. I describe that country's leadership as the main problem with Islam. They are the root of worldwide Islamic radicalization and almost every high-profile act of terror since and including 9/11 is rooted in Saudi ideology. I believe that the United States should scale down its traditional alliance with Saudi Arabia. At the same time, I am very much in favor of peace with Iran. I think that that country should be welcomed back into the community of nations, and I think an end to Iran's isolation would be a great thing for everybody. To some viewers, it looks like there's a contradiction here, because superficially, Iran and Saudi Arabia look kind of similar. Though Iran's system is much more democratic than Saudi Arabia's, the two countries' positions on radical Islam are somewhat similar. Both countries support radical groups. Saudi Arabia supports radical Sunni thought everywhere, and Iran supports radical Shia thought where it can. Iran and Saudi Arabia are also the only two countries of note that try to organize their daily lives around the letter of the Quran. I obviously think that this is a nutty thing to do. So why am I so pro-Iran and yet so anti-Saudi Arabia? Well, here are 3 reasons why. As I've mentioned before, this is the greatest flaw in the eternal Shia-Sunni struggle narrative. The vast majority of the world's Muslims are Sunni. Of the 50 or so Muslim-majority countries, 4 are majority Shia. 75 to 90% of all the world's Muslims are Sunni. Iran had one big opportunity to radicalize another Shia country. That already happened, thanks to George W. Bush. In the poor Muslim countries of Asia and Africa that Saudi Arabia has damaged so seriously, there are almost no Shia to be found. Iran's extremism can be ugly, but they have a much smaller arena to operate in. Washington, D.C.'s fantasies of Iran's hegemonic ambitions are, put simply, dumb as dog shit. I'll refer you to the rest of this series for details on the worldwide catastrophe that has been brought about by Saudi extremism. This is an important point. Even if Iran's radicalism had been weaponized to the extent that Saudi radicalism has been weaponized, there wouldn't be anybody for them to radicalize. There just aren't that many Shia. In the conflict between Saudi Arabia and Iran, the United States is the most important factor. This should be obvious. Saudi Arabia would not have been able to be anywhere near as damaging as it has been without the support of the United States. In 2 wars in particular, and across the wider world for half a century, the United States has worked with Saudi Arabia to turn Sunni radicalism into a worldwide force. It's not like I want to give Iran that position. I don't want to give anybody Saudi Arabia's position. And I don't want to isolate Saudi Arabia either. What we should do here is put both countries in the same position. Neither should be isolated and invaded, but neither one should have U.S. support for its radical program either. I want both Saudi Arabia and Iran to be treated like normal countries. One of the most frustrating things about the discussion of the Iran nuclear deal in the United States is the assumption that it involved giving Iran a whole bunch of money. That's utter hogwash. What it involved was letting Iran access its own money in foreign accounts that had been frozen. That plane load of cash that you hear about is money that was owed to Iran by the United States. This was a vital and brave first step that the Obama administration made towards peace with Iran. The fact that the Trump administration and the U.S. Congress has chosen to piss all over this progress is a tragedy, but it's certainly not Iran's fault. Some of that money absolutely did go to organizations that the United States and Israel consider to be terrorist groups. But not a single dime of that money has gone to support attacks on civilians in the United States or Europe. We know this because there haven't been any Iran-linked attacks on the United States or Europe since the deal was signed. The same cannot be said for attacks based on Saudi ideology. In fact, a lot of the Iranian nuclear deal money was probably used to fight ISIS. Iran did a lot more in that fight than the United States did. So what I want is normal treatment for both countries. an end to support for Saudi terrorism, and an end to Iran's isolation. This shouldn't be too much to ask. Iran is just more of a real country. Even now, after massive growth since the end of sanctions, Iran produces less than half as much oil as Saudi Arabia, and it has more than twice as many people. It has to be more than a petrostate. Decades of isolation have meant that Iran has to actually produce things for itself. Don't get me wrong, Iran's non-oil economy is a statist, corrupt mess. But Iran's non-oil economy exists. Saudi Arabia's does not. Iran's radicalism is a self-defense mechanism. They reach out for peace whenever the United States gives them half a chance. Saudi Arabia's radicalism, however, was adopted voluntarily from a position of great power and wealth. It's insane that we continue to punish Iran, a country that has done us much less damage, while continuing to support Saudi Arabia. Iran and Saudi Arabia are similar in some ways, so let's treat them the same. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out more about my crowdfunding thing. Thanks.